Welcome to another USN Sports Network broadcast. We do apologize. We recently had technical difficulties, so we are starting this game a little late. We're a minute into the first quarter, and the score is 2-2. Antioch just puts in a bucket, but we are here in Sperling Gymnasium for the first basketball action of the year. We were here for volleyball season as Leah Payne, a volleyball player, just makes the pass into the paint. The shot is missed. We were here for volleyball season. We're now back for basketball season in Sperling. USN taking on the Antioch Bears. The boys varsity game will follow. And it's going to be the Antioch throw-in here. My name is Reed Murray, and joining me in the booth is Edward Crane. Edward, how great is it to be back broadcasting some USN sports?
Well, Reed, it is really great to be back in the building. Sperling has always been something special to this school, and it's definitely a great feeling to be back here with some live sports. And I know the students are all really excited as well.
And Celeste Sanders is fouled right there for Antioch. Looks like she won't be headed to the line. It was not a shooting foul. It will be a throw-in here, and Celeste Sanders will be the one to throw it in here for the Bears. Sanders looking for a passing option, some movement. Goes in between a couple USN bodies, and Payne with the block. Payne now is going to carry it down the court. Leah Payne, the only senior on this basketball team. She puts up a shot there and is fouled. So now Leah Payne will head to the line. Leah, like I said, the only senior on this team. She spoke about leadership before the season starts. She said this is a year, they've got a lot of young players. The focus is mainly on development, team chemistry, and building a solid foundation for the future here with the USN basketball program. Her first free throw is up and no good. So the score remains 2-2. We have a couple new faces on this varsity basketball program. We have two freshmen in Margaret McKay and Tessa Chomsky. We also have a St. Cecilia transfer student, Kat Pendergrass, a junior who will be playing as a forward. So second free throw is in, and it's now 3-2 Tigers. Parker Buchanan now driving. Buchanan spinning, trying to get the shot up, and she's called for travel. Kate Vaughn, the sophomore, now will inbound for the Tigers. And this is really, people talk about sporting events after COVID, how it feels real again. But honestly, last season, the Tigers, it was weird for the boys' team not having a crowd at all, but the girls' team hardly even had games because so many games were canceled. Oftentimes, just unfortunate, especially their senior night, their opposing team did have COVID issues. So just several cancellations. Last season, not ideal for the Tigers at all, but tonight, crowds are back, girls varsity basketball is back, and the students are back. It's a pink out tonight. You can see a couple students wearing pink as the inbound pass there is intercepted by Clay. Clay back to Sanders. Sanders pushing it across the court. Irie Thomas shots up, no good. Rebounded by the Tigers. Josie Whelan was there. And it looks like Antioch's inbound. Josie Whelan, another volleyball player. She played on that volleyball team with Leah Payne. She was a back row player. And she made some good contributions to the team. Inbound there goes to Jamaria Clay. Three-pointer there from Sanders is no good. Rebounded by Clay. Shot is put up. Good. 4-3 now. The Bears will take the lead. And the shot is blocked. And it will be USN ball as a foul is called there. Antioch fans got up and excited for that one, but it was called a foul. So it will be a Tigers inbound, as now freshman Margaret McKay will check into the game for Stella Shawn. Vaughn now on the inbound.
I think the Tigers should be really proud of their defensive play so far. They seem to be playing really strong in the paint, not letting Antioch players break through the middle.
Not the best inbound there as Antioch's now on the fast break. Clay will put up the layup, but she'll miss it. Rebound is made and a foul is called. And if you notice our camera resolution, we have a much clearer image, and we're lucky to have an improved camera setup this season. Here comes Yakiria Clay to shoot the free throws for Antioch. First free throw is no good, and here comes Tessa Chomsky, freshman, into the game for sophomore Josie Whelan. And And the cheerleaders are making their presence felt, making lots of noise, stomping on the floor here to try to distract Clay while she shoots her free throw. And the score remains 4-3 as the second free throw is no good. Shot put up by Sanders, hits the top of the backboard. And they kick it out to Clay. Clay misses the long two, and it's a USN rebound by way of Kate Vaughn. Vaughn gets it stolen from her though. And here comes Clay, gets it. And it's 6-3. And Olivia Hess goes over to Vaughn. Vaughn out to Leah Payne. Leah going to break it into their offensive half of the court here. Payne now looking across the court. It's intercepted by Clay. Demaria Clay now puts the layup up, and it is good.
Tigers really need to slow the game down now. They got off to a good start with a couple good points on the board. Since then, a couple turnovers and errant passes that they really need to just slow down.
The Bears have been strong on the fast breaks so far this game. USN is going to have to work on limiting that. It'll be interesting to see what kind of solution they come up with. Vaughn to inbound now. Goes over to Chomsky. Chomsky. Out to McKay. McKay back into Chomsky. And foul is called on Antioch. So Kate Vaughn will inbound once again. Substitution being made here for Antioch. And Jamiria Clay will exit the game. Vaughn now to inbound. She looks, Tessa Chomsky gets open. Vaughn gets it in, and it's caught by Olivia Hess. Hess looks for a shot. She gets it up, and it's good. 8-3. Or 8-5, excuse me. USN back within 3 points here. And they kick it in. Shots up, no good. Rebounded. Put up, missed once again. Olivia Hess fighting for it. She comes away with it. And a really jump ball. Possession given to Antioch. 4:24 remain in this first quarter. And it'll be Celeste Sanders with the inbound. She was up top. Shot is put up quickly, but it's no good. Rebounded by Kate Vaughn. Kate Vaughn gets the stamp on her though. Bree McInnes now looking for a passing option. Gets it into Sanders. Back out to McInnes. Shots up from Clay. Blocked and picked up by McKay. It'll be a USN inbound. Coach Jules just high-fived Tessa Chomsky there. Happy with her defensive play.
I think, as you said earlier, Reed, this is a very young team, so I think Leah Payne's presence is even more crucial here. Kind of lead the team in this first quarter of the first game.
Yeah, Leah Payne going to have to be an important leader, both in terms of her actual on-court play and the team morale. And a little shameless plug, begin to look out in the near future for a Peabody Press article about Leah Payne as the only senior on this team, written by none other than yours truly. Leah Payne now looks for Tessa Chomsky. Chomsky with a long two, and it's no good. Rebounded by Vaughn. Vaughn picks it up quickly, and it's good. Leah Payne is a leader in every sense of the word, both on the basketball court, on the volleyball court, in the classroom, in student government. And that's what she does best. That's what she's going to need to do for a team this year. USN will have the ball now once again. Timeout for USN here, called by Coach Jules. So Eddie, right before this first timeout and this first little bit of play, what stood out to you the most about this game?
I think so far it's really as getting the crowd involved. We're all back here in the gym, and it's really important that the crowd gets involved and gets this team going. I will say, inexperienced team, but I think first quarter they're really putting up a fight, playing hard on both defense and offense, trying to get those shots up, and really take control of this game.
One thing you might not really anticipate being a big factor in terms of intangibles is the cheerleaders, because throughout volleyball season, the entire season we're doing our volleyball broadcasts, there were no cheerleaders in the gym, and there were none last year, of course, because of COVID. They're back now. They're making lots of noise, definitely bringing the school spirit up. So their presence is definitely a welcome one here in Sperling Gymnasium. Payne will now receive the inbound from Kate Vaughn. She calls out a play, walks it up the court, finds Chomsky. Chomsky with a long shot, and it's no good. Rebounded by Kay. Iana Walker with the ball now. Good defense there by Olivia Hess, and it's stolen by Kate Vaughn. Vaughn now looks over to Payne. Payne now looking to create a play. Using her speed to get by the defense. Misses the quick put up though. Jump ball that will go in USN's favor. And that's a smart play by Payne. She knew that the possession arrow was in USN's favor. She knew that even though the Antioch player had gotten to that ball, if she put up a fight for it, her team would get the inbound. And now she receives a pass and puts up a quick two-pointer. USN now back in the lead. McInnes now. And it's tipped by Payne but picked up by Sanders of Antioch. Out for a three-pointer. Hits the rim, no good. McKay on the rebound, gives it to Hess. Foul called on, it looks like Clay of Antioch is who that foul was on.
You know, you're talking a sec ago, Reed, about Kate Vaughn, sophomore on the team. Definitely brings another level of experience, even though last season was abbreviated. But I will tell you, you know, another multi-sport athlete like Payne, she is a huge factor on the golf team, and definitely I know she'll bring the same intensity to this team that she does to the golf team.
Olivia Hess now shoots some free throws in. Speaking of Payne, she just went out of the game for Josie Whelan, her volleyball teammate. Free throw is good from Olivia Hess. But you're right about Kate Vaughn. She brings a different sort of intensity in the defense. She really seems to be hustling as hard as possible, bringing a lot of fight and energy to this Tigers team. That free throw will be good as well. Successful trip to the charity stripe for the Tigers. Antioch's had trouble so far shooting free throws, but USN so far has been accurate in that department. Foul called there. That time looks like on Margaret McKay. And looks like Iana Walker who goes to the line for the Antioch Bears. Cheerleaders getting involved here, stomping and clapping to try to distract Walker. First free throws up and good. As you can see, more and more USN fans starting to fill in the student section crowd. You know, a big thing that the volleyball players talked about in their volleyball season was the impact of the crowd. And that ball goes over the head of Margaret McKay. And it'll be an Antioch inbound. But one thing that the volleyball players talked about a lot was the impact the crowd had on their performance. So they felt much more motivated when the crowd was there, sort of spurring them on. It's definitely going to help both these Tiger teams after having nobody in the crowd. Here comes Olivia Hess, who just scored 2 free throws. Shot, and the pass is over the head of McKay once again. And it'll be another Antioch inbound. Walker now carrying it up the court. Oh no, that's Sanders. Apologies. Goes over to Walker. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded by McKay. McKay looks for a passing option and finds Hess. Hess taking into the offensive end of the court, goes to Whelan. Whelan, that's the Vaughn for 3, and it hits the backboard, no good. Rebounded there by McKay. McKay for 3, rebounded. Oh, sorry, that was Chomsky, and McKay got the rebound. Whelan now blocked, and a foul will be called. And that's a great job by USN there. Their shots weren't falling, but they find a way to make it work, and they draw the foul. And now Josie Whelan is headed to the line. Great way to make it work on offense when it wasn't looking great at the beginning. Antioch boys varsity crowd starting making a noise here. The first free throw was good. Payne checks back into the game for Kate Vaughn. And you know, if you're going to be putting in the kind of effort she is, you're also going to need to rest up so you can do it for all 4 quarters. So smart substitution there by Coach Jules. Irie Thomas is going to come into the game for Antioch in a second. That free throw's no good, and it's McInnes on the rebound. Pushes it out, and it's a steal from USN. And McKay was looking for Payne, but couldn't quite get it to her. Now Sanders will drive by. Sanders pushes it out, and it's picked up by Hess. Hess looks for Payne. Payne the fast break. What does she do? Stops, gets the layup, and gets it to go. USN back in the lead. And the USN ball after an infraction there on the inbound. And now Stella Shawn will come into the game and take the place of Olivia Hess.
That was a huge basket there by Payne. Really trying to get that momentum back that they generated a few minutes ago. Antioch was starting to fight back some, and that powerful play really just helped them get back in the game.
And it's great work from Olivia Hess to find the pass too. She saw Payne was ahead of her with all kinds of space in front of her, and she hit her right in stride. It was a great pass, great way to set up a good 2 points for the Tigers, and smart play by Payne to stop there, because she might have gotten blocked if she went straight into the basket. Good, smart, aware basketball from the Tigers there. Walker now gets it over to Buchanan. Buchanan back out to Sanders. Sanders for two, no good. Buchanan with the rebound, out on USN.
Some really good movement by Antioch there on that play. They're gonna have to, USN's gonna have to find a way to limit that passing, or else they might find some good scoring opportunities.
And on the Antioch offense there, Parker Buchanan, number 54, she seems to always be there for the rebound, always out-muscle the other team, get the rebound, but rarely have the Bears been able to capitalize on the rebounds. They've gotten the rebounds, haven't gotten the points to follow though. We'll have to see if they can eventually start putting it in the basket, or if that's going to be a problem for them all night. Wheel now at the free throw line again. First free throw is good. And she'll take another. That one will fall. So another successful trip to the free throw line for USN. And that's a department where they're going to have to be successful, because they haven't got a lot of tall players. They are, as Leah Payne described, a guard-heavy team. Lots of, quicker but smaller players on this team. So if you can't get points down low with bigger bodies down there, you're going to have to be able to do it from the free throw line. And so far they've been doing it effectively. You have to give them credit there. And now Walker is headed to the free throw line. Oh, sorry, that's actually Thomas. Irie Thomas. She misses that free throw. And now Kate Vaughn comes back into the game for Josie Wheeler, who just made the two free throws. And they finally get one to go from the free throw line. So the Tigers' lead is cut to just 3 points. And now Thomas kicks it out. And it will be a travel. USN will get the ball back. Bad inbound there, but they are saved by a travel from the Bears. Payne gets open here in the backcourt. Looking forward, trying to stay in bounds. She is pushed out of bounds, it looks like. So it looks like the ball will remain with USN here. And Lee will go to the free throw line. Payne for her first free throw of the game. It's up and she just looks so focused when she goes to the free throw line. It looks like it would be near impossible for her to miss. And just as I say that, she does miss the next one, so that is a little bit of the commentator's curse, and I apologize to Leah for that. First quarter ends with a 17-13 score. USN out to a good start to the season here in the first quarter of the year. So Eddie, moving into the second half, obviously USN, it's far from in the bag here. Just in the first quarter, just a 4-point lead. What do you think it's going to take for the Tigers to hold on for the rest of the game?
Well, Reed, I think obviously it takes consistency. It's easy to fall behind, get caught up in the moment, but they really have to be determined and work as a team to get some points on the board.
Absolutely, and teamwork, that's one of the things Leah Payne has talked about a lot in the offseason as a leader. It's got to be all about teamwork, all about cohesion, and that's also common throughout the boys team as well. They find working together, teamwork, like I said, cohesion, those are definitely some of the keys to the season. So you're absolutely right about that. And I think it's also going to take a lot of energy. I think they're going to have to be a fast-paced team. They're going to have to try to get some more of those fast break points like Leah got earlier. And they're going to have to be strong on defense. We talked about Vaughn bringing sort of the intensity. Vaughn brings the intensity, it seems, on defense when she's on the court. And when she's off the court, somebody else is going to need to bring it. So I think just hustle is going to be another key. Those are two big sort of cliche coaching points, is working together and hustling, but really that's what's going to help USN.
And again, Reed, that's the importance of the crowd, bringing the energy that the Tigers desperately need.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're not already motivated to hustle, if you hear some of your classmates, fellow students cheering you on, that'll definitely spur you forward. Chomsky now, pass goes over Sean and out of bounds. Brilliant shot there to tie it by Antioch. Payne now gives it to Vaughn. Vaughn and Payne seem to sort of be the dynamic duo at guard here so far for the Tigers. Payne now looks to create a play. Finds Vaughn, looks to create a little bit of movement. Kicking into the paint is Vaughn, and she scores.
Lacking some size, the Tigers are definitely going to have to work to prevent those passes into the paint, where the Bears are definitely possess their strengths.
Interesting there, I see Margaret McKay, and it'll be a travel, so it's USN ball. Interesting strategy there from Margaret McKay on defense. She was defending the Antioch player, and she was kind of screaming at her. I heard her, sort of scream right in her face. And I guess if it works, it works. It worked right there, and they drew the travel. So interesting defensive strategy. But we talked about bringing the intensity. That is certainly a way to do it. So hats off there to McKay for finding a way to bring the intensity on defense and sort of psych out the opponent. Pass goes into a group of bodies and it's caught by McKay. Payne now driving in, and she puts the shot up, and it's good. That's just brilliant basketball IQ right there. To know when to pass, when to put up a shot, and how to do it effectively. That's terrific from Payne. Drives in once again, shots up, no good. And it's right to Sean. Sean puts it up, no good, gets the rebound. And you were saying earlier, and here comes the fast break. Antioch, you were saying earlier with some of these passes inside, as a team lacking in size, definitely accurate passing. They're going to have to be almost pinpoint accurate at some points. They can't keep lofting these passes up and hoping a teammate will come down with it. Here comes a long shot from Vaughn, rebounded on McKay. McKay trying to put it up, and she's fouled. Payne not happy with the foul at all, as Vaughn is now headed to the line.
Even without the size, Tigers able to take it hard to the middle, draw some fouls. Very important to maintaining some momentum. with that free throw, Tigers take a 3-point lead as Bears make a substitution.
McKay goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. USN, like we said, they've been effective shooting free throws so far, and they keep it up this time. Good work from the Tigers at the charity stripe. Jameer Clay gets the inbound from Iana Walker. Another screen there from Kate Vaughn. It seems to be the USN defensive strategy. Run at them and scream in their face, and it's working so far. The Bears seem to be a little either intimidated, psyched out, not sure what it is, but it's having a positive effect, the strategy. Inbound goes out to McInnes. And Vaughn with the steal. Vaughn gets a quick layup, no good. Rebounded by Clay. Clay bringing a lot of hustle on this. Creates sort of a fast break out of it. Pass wasn't quite where she wanted it, but will be Antioch ball as it goes off Olivia Hess's foot. Out to McInnes. McInnes faked the three-pointer, and she's called for the travel. By Vaughn. Payne loses the ball, but it looks like it will remain with the Tigers as it went off of Iana Walker. Punch Chomsky. That's Aaliyah. Payne now driving, turns around. She's got two defenders on her. Looks to kick it out to Sham. Sham for a long two-pointer. Off the backboard, no good. Break here from Clay, fouled by Hess. That's a good foul, though. You know, she knows that the Bears have been struggling from the free throw line, and that was a pretty high percentage shot there, so good foul by Hess.
Good sportsmanship, too, as the Tigers rush to lift their opponent up.
And that's what you love to see. You love to see sportsmanship between two competing teams. Rebounded by Payne. And she makes sure no one's going to steal it. She wraps her arms around the ball and spins around. Solidifies her possession of that ball. It'll remain with USN as it goes out of bounds there.
That's what I think has made Payne so valuable so far this game. She's working hard on both the offensive and defensive side, trying to gain possession off the rebound and then setting up the offense.
Payne is successful in trying. She saw she had nowhere to go with the ball. She had no real offensive opportunity, so she just throws it off of her opponent's leg, and it went out of bounds. It'll be a Tigers inbound now. Once again, that basketball IQ of Payne really showing here. She's played the game for a long time. She's been a varsity starter since her freshman year, and it's showing with the way she always seems to know what to do with the ball. And now on the fast break, Payne tries to get a block, but the shot will go up and it'll be good. So the Bears now within one. Payne drives into the paint and she is fouled. Once again, we'll be headed to the line. She's 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight.
As you said before, Reed, getting those fouls is going to be crucial to their success this game. Trying to get the bonus and getting the free throws up, and Tigers clearly having success as Payne pours that one in as well.
Yeah, they've been effective from the free throw line, so being able to get into the bonus and potentially the double bonus will be a big help for the Tigers in this first half and later on near the end of the game. And Antioch crowd's efforts not in vain there, as Penn does miss the free throw. Rebound and foul from Hess. So McInnes now can tie this game up with 2 successful free throws. But judging by the way this team has been shooting from the free throw line so far tonight, don't know that that'll happen. First one is up, and it's good. I should have bit my tongue there, because now I know the commentator curse has been real so far tonight, and I think it may prove to be real here again. Second free throw, no good. Payne gets that rebound. Goes over to Chomsky. Chomsky back to Payne. Payne dribbles past one defender. Cross court to McKay, and McKay called for travel. So 1 point game here. We have 3:29 remaining in the first half, and the Bears are within 1 possession. They can take the lead here. Josie Whelan getting ready to check back into this game. Pass goes into the paint, but intercepted by Tessa Chomsky, and timeout for USN. Coach Jules calls it there right as the Tigers establish possession.
And Reed, as more students come into the building, I'd be interested to see how the growing crowd affects the Tigers' play.
Yeah, there hasn't been a ton of noise in the student section. There's a student presence, that's for sure. The main portion of noise has come from the cheerleaders. It'll be interesting to see if some of these seniors start to come up with some chants, try to make their own sort of noise, or if they just leave it to the cheerleaders. So Eddie, the tempo has kind of been all over the place in this game. Do you think that the Tigers would be more successful in a fast-paced, fast break field game, or do you think they should try to slow it down a little bit?
So far they have had some opportunities on the fast break, but I do think the Tigers' play style is going to be that slower, set up the offense, pass it around, because as the game has picked up pace, they've made some errant passes once they possess the ball. And so, although they have benefited from the fast break, I do think the slow play style is going to really help them.
Yeah, Leah Payne on the bench now, but for the most part, I think on offense, the Tigers are going to be most successful when you give Leah the ball, you let her drive. If the shot's up, let her take it. If it's not, kick it out to somebody. But typically, if Leah makes a move with the ball, there will be a shot open. Because if she gets by one defender, 2 more will come in and get her, leaving others open. If not, she's got a clear lane to the bucket, and she'll typically make it. Payne looks a little tired, but she's going to check back into the game here as Clay heads to the free throw line.
And even for the Bears, Clay has been a huge part of their offense so far, driving hard to the middle and drawing the fouls.
Yeah, Clay definitely has been one of the biggest hustlers on the team. She's always running hard, always trying to make plays with her speed. And the Tigers have struggled with that a little bit. They definitely have the capability of playing a fast-paced game, but sometimes they seem to be caught off guard by the play of Clay. She definitely seems to be the hardest worker on this Bears team. And here comes McKay. McKay trying to find Hess. The pass is there, but Hess comes down with it. Hess now drives in, gets the shot up, no good, gets her own rebound though. She might have been fouled there, but no foul was called. Clay now on offense finds a teammate, and she has stepped out of bounds. Tigers ball.
That's been some good defense from the Tigers on the Bears as they fast break, kind of getting to the middle and blocking that passing option.
Vaughn now carrying the ball. Antioch crowd starting to get involved. Shot is up, no good. And you got to say the Antioch crowd all of a sudden got way into it. And now the Bears have a lead. The Antioch crowd has been sort of quiet all night, and then all of a sudden they just exploded, and it's working for them. The Antioch crowd here away mostly comprised of varsity boys players, is making an impact here in Sterling. And the USN students are going to need to get into it. Otherwise, Antioch's going to completely have the intangible advantage despite being at an away game. Shot up from McKinnis, airballed, and Payne lets it go out of bounds. And that's a smart play by Payne not to travel there with the jump. She finds Hess. Hess in the perfect spot at the right time, puts up a shot. Great play by Hess to be available down low. And it is good to see travel there from Antioch. It's good to see the team spirit from Antioch. This crowd, boys varsity players, boys JV players, girls JV players, it's mostly classmates of these Antioch girls varsity players who made the trip to USN. And it's good to see that from a away crowd. It's good to see atmosphere come back to sporting events at USN after a year where they were pretty much gone.
But again, coming back to the USN crowd, student section is really going to have to get involved if they're going to take advantage of this home court.
Like we said, they're showing out. The numbers are there, and a lot of them are wearing pink, going with the theme night. But little noise coming from when Antioch does have the ball. Bring up to Chomsky for two, and it's good. He switches that one for a mid-range two-pointer, and the Tigers have a 3-point lead.
That was really good composure from the freshman, taking her time with that shot and being sure to set up for a nice basket.
Now Irie Thomas will head to the free throw line. And it's Tessa Chomsky who is called for that foul. And we'll see if the student section makes some noise here. And a little bit of noise there coming from the student section, and it worked as the free throw is missed. Payne looks down the court to Baum. Baum puts up a quick two. No good, rebounded by Hess. Hess puts it up, and it's good. Great points in transition there for the Tigers. And the lead is extended even further.
You know, Reed, I'm afraid I may have misspoken earlier. The Tigers lately have been seeming to take advantage of the fast break opportunities. Maybe not on the first attempt, but on the rebound and put up on many of these.
And Hess rebounded that one out of bounds. A little frustrated after that, but what can you do? She got a good point there earlier on the rebound, so she shouldn't be too hard on herself. She's contributed well here. And here comes Walker. Walker pass goes over the head of Buchanan, and Payne comes over to steal. Looking down the court to McKay. Quick shot, it's good. Right before the end of the quarter, toward the end of the half, 32-25, excuse me, as we head into the half. Great first half from the Tigers. They have a lead in their first game of the season as we head into the break. Edward, any final thoughts here before we head into the halftime break?
I do think the Tigers did a really good job continuing their momentum they built on a few plays. And Antioch's really going to have to pick that up, try to break them before they get too far ahead. But fast break opportunities were really good there. And I think leadership from Leah Payne and intensity from Kate Vaughn, amongst other big plays by the freshmen and sophomores, were really key to their success that half.
Yeah, definitely capitalizing on mistakes was a big point of emphasis for the Tigers here. At least you'd have to imagine. Going into the end of the half, they capitalized on a few Antioch mistakes, and now they're ahead by 7 points because of it. So good job by the Tigers there, and we'll see if they can continue capitalizing on those mistakes in the second half. We'll be back soon with the second half of USN Tigers versus Antioch Bears girls varsity basketball.